Hi, it's Kim Kaase, Transformative Business Coach here, and each week I'm going to bring you a video that hopefully provides some value for your life and your business. Today I'm going to talk about my path over the last few years and how it's changed and grown and how I help people. You see, I was faced with a pretty serious health challenge with my son, and it didn't take me out of my business for 2 years, but for the better part of 2 years, I had to step back, reevaluate, and put his recovery first and foremost. And while I was doing that, it wasn't the most comfortable thing in the world, just to be very honest. I love the work that I do with people. I love my son dearly also. But I'm not by nature a nurturer or a taker care of persons when they're ill. And so to have to nurse him through 2 6-month recoveries was a real stretch for me. And it required me to step back from my business a bit. The beauty in all that, other than the amazing, even closer relationship that my son and I got through that experience, was that I could really look at my practice, the coaching work that I do, could step back from it a bit and look at the best practices I had in terms of what was working. And I could also see where I hoped that my clients could get better results and really reflect on that because I actually had space in my life to do so. So that's what I'm going to share today is really one thing, as I'll be sharing each week, one thing that is digestible and hopefully very valuable that I noticed in working with people and how I've changed my approach somewhat over the last 2 years. And that has to do with when prospective clients show up to me and they eventually become my clients. Often they have their own business. They've had their own business for a while. Occasionally they're just starting a business, but they look towards strategies and they look towards techniques and think about what they should be doing to grow their business. But at the same time, those same people, they are having usually strained relationships with their staff. That can look like a hiring and firing loop. It could also look like, having a meeting with your staff and everyone agreeing around the table as to what to do, and then everyone leaving the room and everyone just goes back and does what they want to do. Like people not following instructions could look that way. In a person's personal life, it could look like a strained partnership relationship, or maybe a strained relationship with children. Maybe not even having much of a social life at all outside of work. And so a lot of times people come to me and they think of those as their real problems. Like, I want to get out of this hiring and firing loop. I want to do the things and execute my business that makes it more successful. I really need to heal this partnership, or I may need to leave it, like those sorts of things. And people look towards the outside to heal those things. They look towards the outside to, how can I fix this? How can I tweak the other person's behavior or mine? Sometimes people are self-aware enough to see that it's them. Like, how can I do that? And they've often read self-help books or business leadership books or those sorts of things. They might have taken some classes. They might be involved in coaching. But, I've met people who have been in certain coaching groups for many years with no real with no real advancement in their business or in the way they even lead within their business. And the reason, in my mind, the one reason that is because people are looking outside themselves. Where real change comes, whether we're talking about in our business, in our practice, with our families, with our friends, where real change comes from is when someone starts to look and have a deeper sense of themselves. And what I mean by themselves, I'm not talking about understanding your strengths or weaknesses. I'm not talking about, understanding what you're good at. What type of personality are you? I'm not talking about, are you an introvert or extrovert, and making the most of that. Like, none of that. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is a deeper sense of who you are. A big question to ask, pointing to that same way, why were you born? Okay, now what does that have to do with business? Well, it has everything to do with business. And what I help my clients do is link that back together. Why were they born? Why are you on this planet at this particular time? Because I'm guaranteeing you, if you've started your own business or you've forged down a really nice career path, there is a link between that and your heart and soul. But most of us become disconnected from that. I've been there. I know what I'm talking about. Even in coaching, that had happened for me. I lost my connection to why I do what I do. And it's this one thing. This is why I do it. It's really connecting people back to their deeper sense of purpose and connecting them back to a place that is incredibly productive, incredibly effective in terms of leadership. And that disconnection that we often feel, and then that reconnection that happens, is, I think, the single biggest game changer in people's lives. So in the next video, next week, I will discuss how to get reconnected, and the best strategy you have for doing and being more in a world that demands that, while you already feel like, that you couldn't possibly do more. So I'm going to reveal that in the next video. Thanks for watching.